Really nice ward here. Let's talk about this ward. CoreJJ puts down a lane ward when Baolan and Jackie Love are playing in the minion wave. And against any other team, this is actually probably a wasted ward at 4 minutes because it doesn't patrol the river. But Ning has been known to lane gank quite consistently and been known to gank pre 5 minutes. It's actually a super next level ward here. This is actually a really cool ward to put down from CoreJJ because suddenly Ning can't actually enter this lane unless Baolan goes super hard all in. But that means that Baolan can't flash Polv and then headbutt back to Ning. That's the play you want to make here, is flash Polv. The moment you see headbutt, it gets a lot more predictable for double lift. And now Ning is sitting in a ward while xSmithy is trying to make things happen. So credit to the TL analysts. They did a lot of really good work here. A lot of good work here to kind of anticipate what iG were going to be. Feels like iG didn't really feel they were going to be challenged until they made the final. And that's kind of the feeling I get here, is that iG is falling back to super classic iG playbook, but that's what TL prepped for. TL prepped for exactly this iG. And things like the lane ward we're seeing and other things there are surefire signs that TL were absolutely ready for this opponent. But let's see how TL can kind of reset the problem they have of Impact not even being able to walk up topside. Another good lane ward. Fresh lane ward at 11:31. The lane wards here are so cool. Like this is definitely the power of analysts. Because I would not have been able to tell you before this series started, you know, in just normal vision, like lane ward brushes. That's the way that you're going to be able to subvert Ning's early game. But these brush lane wards are really awesome. They're really doing a lot here because Ning has got, you consider his options. TL have invested everything in mid. Like Smithy has been mid so many times. Ning's not going to go mid lane because they're not going to be able to get first roam and clear those wards and then make a Lee play happen again. Bot side, he's already been spotted and they haven't had the level of control they expected here, and Sivir is already at Essence Reaver, so he's going to be able to push in. Top side lane gank is the most likely place Lee is going to go. So preventative lane ward, Ning walks in, and until a minion aggroes him, he can't know for sure that the lane ward is there. And what does a lane ward do, you might ask? A lane ward does exactly what you saw. Let's talk about this play. Let's talk about this play where Lee Sin pings on to the secondary brush and says he wants to go in there and get the gank onto Impact with no flash if the lane ward is not there versus when it is there, and how much it gives them. Because Jensen, if you notice, is bot side, CoreJJ is bot side when this play all starts to happen. They're not actually looking to come top side until now. EQ is just being used by Jarvan. It's not like Jarvan was coming to gank top. Jarvan was EQing into his Raptor camp, his Krug camp to kill Krugs. Braum is recalling. Jensen and Rookie are brawling in mid lane. And then, the moment that this happens, the minion wave doesn't give away that Ning is there, and that's where TL absolutely click their fingers into action and the roams start. So watch the mini-map here, because we saw the play happen in front of us. Jarvan kills the Raptors and comes top. Jensen comes top and teleports early. This is a very early teleport coming through from Jensen, and CoreJJ packs up from base and starts coming topside. So if you look at the time lag between people responding, Jensen pushes out a wave, already knew that top lane was definitely going to be a firing spot, full channeled his teleport and got involved. And you look at the minimap, Syndra, who is a very poor roaming champion compared to the roaming assassins like Akali, is only now gonna like walk around the banana brush to start walking up. So they're nowhere near this. And then able to steal away the Realm Warp. So that's really nicely done by Jensen. It gives them no escape. They get 2 kills for 0 to start off around top side where they had a no-flash Nico who was far behind. Like, that already is a huge turnaround in this game. And then from there, Core JJ is going to roam first. Bot lane is just staying bot, right? Because they have no idea this play is coming. And TL, this was the big moment in this game. Silas suddenly having 3 kills, and the game being entirely... the script of the game is entirely rewritten here. And people can look at this and say iG misplayed it. But iG played it how iG always do. We're going to look for ganks. Ning always focuses on those. Get the Shy ahead. That's where he likes to go. Ning plays a lot of time. He sets up a camp topside. There's no flash on the Nico. That's the person we should focus on. And lane gank was it was the right lane. We already discussed how top lane was the only realistic one. And iG's tendency is to be, again, fight focused rather than farm focused. Like, Lee Sin doesn't care that he's 10 CS behind the Jarvan at this point. iG does what iG always does. So I don't think iG plays this poorly. I think Team Liquid plays this great. Like, this is the real awesome play from Team Liquid to be so well researched on the team to communicate around Impact's lane ward. And the lane ward is the MVP of this entire fight. And then from there, you know, they start up the Rift Herald, which is another objective around the scene of the topside advantage. Ning's just respawned. And then just kind of thinks that he can walk up 2v3 and be fine. This is where things get scattered. This is where actually you should criticize iG is... like, iG keep fighting. Like, iG will always fight. If you watch their LPL games where they lose to bottom teams, it's because they keep fighting when they shouldn't. Like, iG in no way should be committing to this fight. Biggest example here is lane assignments. When this play starts, the lane assignment call from Jackie Love is, I'm going to get these last 2 turret plates and get really, really strong, and I'm going to have 2 items ready to go on fights. And that's why Impact is rushing down bot lane, because he's got the teleport, and he's going to be able to answer. This is not a teleport AD carry game. It's heal versus heal for Jackie Love versus Doublelift. Ning and the Shy can for sure walk up here. That's fine. This part here, okay. And it should be, let's just, you know, pressure them a bit. We can always walk away. Ning's got his flash. We don't have to fully commit here. It's fine to pressure a little bit around this area, but then you back away. Syndra is in base, can't be there. Kai'Sa is in bot lane, and clearly being told by the team and get the turret plates. Otherwise, he would have roamed, what, 20 seconds earlier? And Alistar's Alistar, right? Just walking around mid lane. You're already outnumbered here, and your numbers will get there slower because Impact has TP advantage and Sivir can ult there. Instead, like, this is the most Rambo Q. I assume to look for a smite steal on the Rift Herald. And then, you know, you're going to be... the TP instantly stops the Shy and Baolan from walking up. And this ends up being bonus kills here. The dominoes here are, Ning thinks, okay, maybe I can smite this. You know, it fell to 39 health. That part makes sense. The Shy had already had the idea of, okay, I don't want to be involved in this domino chain. I'm just leaving. And then Baolan, as we mentioned, is walking up. Kai'Sa's never coming. And the dominoes here are, well, Baolan is overextended because Ning said, maybe I can smite steal the Rift Herald. And then Rookie, who's trying to assist the person who got in trouble because of Ning trying to steal the Rift Herald, the Alistar, then dies as well. Think about the game state change paused here. Right now, remember this, 13 minutes 41, 23.5k gold to 22.3. So a 1,300 gold lead and 6 kills. That is what they have at 13 minutes 41 to Team Liquid. Let's go back in time to Papa's favorite, the lane ward. Go back further. The lane ward play starts happening less than 2 minutes earlier. At this point, iG is 1,200 gold ahead and TL have no kills. The game state change from this lane ward and TL's macro collapse is a swing of negative 1,200 gold to positive 1,300. So 2,500 gold swing pre-14 minutes, before turret plates are even down, which is a huge amount of gold. For context, there's 35k gold in the game. So we're talking about 8% of the entire game's gold is changed over the course of 2 minutes. TL actually have a 1,200 gold lead, 4 kills on their Silas, who had no kills before, and huge map control advantage, because while they didn't get first turret, they got mid lane turret in trade for the bot lane turret, and all IG can say is that Jackie Love is closer to second item. Like, that is such a huge momentum shift. They're going to lose the Cloud Drake as well. Let's watch this play from the Syndra, because we know that Rookie is like the best Syndra to ever live. So, oh, Jesus. Holy moly, the stun, man. So that's the, so he QW'd, puts it down, Qs for a second. How do you even do this? So this is to stun ostensibly double lift PapaSmithy, right? And this, so the reason you do this stun is that it stops you from juking left or right. Most people would just stun straight on, i.e. score a goal between the Sivir and the Jarvan. He stuns both. This is like some, what's it called in bowling? Like 7-10 split or whatever? Like, this is fucking insane. Like, how good do you have to be at this video game? It may have been an accident, someone says. Come on, man. Like, Rookie plays so much Syndra. He's so good at Syndra. Like, I have seen him win every bad matchup from Syndra from pure outplay. He is the one player in the world on Syndra where I say, I don't even think about being an accident. This is for sure on purpose. I'm going to watch it one more time. Like, one more time. Oh, boy. Rookie. What a god. What a fucking god. Awesome play. Awesome, awesome play. Actually insane. You look at this comp and it is largely about Ryze in the side lane, in my opinion. I think they have a lot of advantages because Ryze right now shapes up and can beat Jensen or Impact super easily in a side lane. To me, the big criticism of how IG played this game is that they had the Shy in a position where he could beat everyone in the side lane, and we never really felt that in the game state. So we'll try to keep our eye on the Shy and side lanes as the game goes on. Before we see the face check, it is a 4,200 gold lead for IG. They have a Ryze that no one can match in a side lane. They have an inhibitor down, and they have only inhibitor turret in bot side. So they have a very long lane in bot. There's many different things IG can do right now that TL can't respond to. If you ARAM right now, you play into Team Liquid's wave clear, right? So you don't want to play one lane. So you want to be able to play a side lane. If you send Ryze to a side lane, TL have to surrender one of their 5 members around Baron, and then if you drag someone down, it's much easier to put down forward vision when you're waiting for minion waves to push into you. If you make the play here where you just say, let's fight them, you don't actually leverage the Ryze's power at all. The map state, if you look, there are no relevant minion wave pushes. Normally, a minion wave pushing into, say, the bot lane inhibitor from Team Liquid is going to force them to send, say, double lift or, in this case, probably Jensen or Impact, to wave clear, and you lose a picked person, and thus, again, vision around Baron is safer. Instead, IG skip all of the steps they can take, whether it's leveraging the Shy's power or pushing in minion waves with strong dueling. and just try to brute force it and say, well, I just want deep vision. And that means that Ning has to sacrifice a lot at the start, and TL get a 1-for-0 in a scenario where they should be losing. We're watching the fight here, right? It's TL. It's once again iG walking up. And yes, get a lot of damage onto double lift. But can someone explain this to me? Watch what happens here. Consider the communication between Ning and Baolan, who I actually criticized a lot from this series. Ning almost died, trying to put down a control ward, backed. He's taking wolves. He's killing the wolves, guys. He's not coming. He's not. It's not like he's slow and Alice like, oh, I thought you were running straight here. He's killing the wolves actively. And then Baolan, who saw Jensen and Smithy topside, flash all-ins. Like double lift, you know, there's a bit of damage chunking out here, and Baolan just flash all-ins. Not literally flash. In this case, he walks in, headbutt pulverizes. But I mean, he just decides we're fighting. Ning is walking all the way up and finally gets there. iG, purely because they had no interest in playing the map. Baolan walks up and dies after Ning walked up and deep warded without priority. While the side lanes, as you can see in top and bot, are not side lanes TL have to react to. If TL's only job is to wave clear mid and stop iG putting down deep wards, their comp is actually better. Like, they have a comp that can face check brush with Braum shield much more reliably than the enemy. Jarvan is safer than Lee Sin because it's not a ward jump that requires any sort of skill. It's EQ out. Sivir has wave clear for days. iG is getting nothing and losing things when they have unassailable advantages like, oh shit, who do we send against the Shy's Rise? He's massive. And it's mostly the lack of communication between two Chinese players. It's not like the Shy and Ning are having a bad synergy scenario. It's Baolan and the Shy. Like, they're both Chinese players. There should be no potential for any communication errors there. So it's really, really lazy play from iG. And then this is the big turning point, right? Remember, we're team fighting with the Shy. When did iG last send someone bot lane? Alistair finishes his recall at 27:30. And then no one goes bot. Like, there's how many Baron resets happened from this time? Remember, this is still not the Baron. We're still living in the past. Damn. Still no one has gone bot lane. And now we're grouping top lane and still no one is going bot lane. And you might say, well, we got gold leads, got a big hat, double void stuff. We think we can win a fight. And, like, you're not wrong if you say that. Like, there's nothing wrong with saying it's on hit Nico. Yes, Ryze could be in a side lane, but we believe we should win a fight. And you know what? If you ask me right now who wins a fight, I'd say iG. And iG is saying we want to fight. And that's fine, right? Wrong. Because if you look at these numbers and say, all right, iG probably wins a fight. How much do they win a fight by? I don't know, maybe 10%? Maybe it's 60-40, right? And maybe they're 60-40 to win the team fight here. iG, at this time, could be approaching this game very differently. They could be sending someone bot lane to push up. And there's no one on the enemy team that can match. Definitely not this on-hit Nico. So if they do that, something's got to give. Nico's bot lane trying to wave clear and getting probably solo killed by Ryze. And then if I ask you, what are the chances you break the base on this Baron if you had pushed up with Ryze bot side versus if you push on the top side? It's significantly different. You always break the base if you send the Ryze bot side compared to you most of the time win a team fight on the top side. But 40% happens way more than, say, like the 90-10 of if you split pushed with the Ryze. So what you left on the table, which is the rise in the bot lane pushing at any point in the last 5 minutes, but most relevantly now, right, with the Baron buff, actually ends up losing you the game. And that's kind of the reason why it's wrong, is that even though iG have better items and more gold and are strong at trying to get in there, there's still a chance you lose the game. They're walking up and they're trying to make something happen because they think they're strong. But it means that TL can play one lane, and that's what Sivir dreams of. I cast the 93 minutes to dream game where Teddy just wave cleared for 1300 CS, because that's what Sivir does. If you play one lane, you play into the wave clear and the fact that TL could win a team fight. If you play multiple lanes, you subvert things like that. Finding the Shy, walking away, actually pushing through mid lane a little bit. Amusingly, bot lane's pushing out for TL, which is like the dream, right? So attempt for an all-in. Let's take stock of what was used here. So they try to make an all-in before Ryze gets there. They get Realm Warp out, which is actually pretty relevant, but TL use all ults outside of, Sylas going to have a refresh and Nico's ult. iG didn't use Kick, did use Alistar and Syndra ult, but TL goes in trying to relieve pressure with their tank Jarvan, trying to buy time. The reason you make engages like this, which is what we see here, the reason you make engages like this is you want to waste the Baron buff. So iG walk around, they're going to get the mid lane inhibitor. They had this one down before. But the Baron's now down to final minion wave. And if you want to think about it, it's about kind of 35 seconds, 40 seconds between minion waves that you can actually use to threaten. So if you see the timer below a minute and the minion wave coming in, it's almost always going to be the last minion wave for the Baron. So iG are going to be greedy. They could have reset here. They don't have to walk up, but their health bars are pretty healthy. Lee Sin still has Kick. They feel like they can still make this happen and break the base because, you're feeling like getting at least one inhibitor turret should be the minimum. And they've been so stubborn about not playing bot side that they feel like they have to break the base here. Notice the Shy is not pressuring the Nexus turrets at this point. He's walking the long way. And then you have the big play. The 3-man route onto impact here with the empowered duration wins them the game. We were saying, probably 60-40 for iG and teamfights here with their item lead, 16 stat Magi's Rise, etc. Last minion waves, they just want to break the base. Not that high in health. But the thing about 60-40s is the 40s happen a lot. 40% is pretty close to 50, right? And 50's half the time. This ends up being like the God Hand punish. Like iG feel like there's no way in hell they lose more than one person, even if they greed. But Ning dies with kick up because he gets burst instantly. And then it doesn't matter how strong the Shy is. Like he can't do anything in this fight. Like so much of this game has been played on Sivir's terms. Like how much of this game has been played with Sivir able to wave clear and nothing bad happening around here. And you're at kind of a point in the game where gold leads no longer matter for iG if Sivir is able to push 5-6 items. The Magi's has been sold. Wait, did Kai'Sa kill minions in the bot lane? Yeah! We got there. We got there, team. We did it. The answer was 7 minutes between bot lane visits. That's a long time. So, you get to see the big Jarvan plays. One of the reasons that Jarvan's so big. Comes out of control ward, the Shy's not expecting it. They all in, get one kill instantly with no threat on double lift. And again, it doesn't matter how much gold iG have on their side. Again, it's a one-lane game. Sivir's unique thing is she has 500 range, which in lane sucks, but in team fights, she presses R, everyone moves as fast as her, and she fights in her tank line. And she has an aftershock Sylas, a brawler. She has the ability for the Nico to reset team fights with both her ultimate and, more importantly, the E, as we saw in this particular game. Braum can fight with her, Jarvan can fight with her. Like, Sivir can so happily opt into Death Ball, which is something like Jhin, for example, could never do. And you just get to rush in there and kill closest target. There's no threat. Everyone can use all their abilities to zone people away from double lift, and then Ricochet does all the rest of the work. So there's nothing IG can do. Jensen can still the Alistar ult, nothing can stop him, and the game just ends. This was where kind of the rubber hit the road when it came to targeted preparation against IG. And they actually set all of IG's bad tendencies against them through macro play. It wasn't about the draft, right? The draft, I actually liked IG's draft. I think they got a lot of wins in draft, and TL took some pretty bold risks that IG on a different day, or if they weren't as well scouted, would have been able to punish them for. But instead, they sent IG's demons against them. Like, this felt like IG beating IG in some ways, but it wasn't. Like, that's how IG come away. They're like, oh, if only we played better, we would have won. But actually, it was TL playing off IG's tendencies in a really smart way.